Hello, hi, this is David Eggers, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of my series, Good People Who Do MLM. I am so thrilled that you're here. I've got a great friend on today. And before we get to her, I just want to briefly tell you about myself. I am married, I've got two kids, I live in New Jersey, and I've been a professional in a career for several decades. That's theater. That was my first calling, and I love it to this day. But back in 2005, I also got involved in this industry. Some people call it network marketing. Some people call it direct sales. Some people call it home-based business. I've heard multi-level marketing. Kind of those terms are all sort of describing the same industry. And it's becoming so prevalent. Almost everyone is going to come across someone in this industry at some point or another. Many companies are using the model. And I just want to say that in 2016, there were almost 21 million people involved in this industry in the United States, and it's growing every year. And in that same year, all those people created $35.5 billion in product sales. So it's a legit industry, a legit business, and yet there's still some misconceptions out there about it. One of the awesome things about it is that it's been around for so long. It's being recognized by so many people as being legit and a great thing, that it's drawing really good people to the industry. And so that's what I'm doing here, is introducing some of those really good people. It's my honor and my pleasure to have dear friend Kristen, Beth, Ludwig with me. We met doing theater together several years ago, and I quickly became a fan of hers. She's awesome. She's got a great work ethic. She's immensely talented, and you'd be lucky if you were to know her, because she's an awesome friend and just a light in the world. So what I'm super excited about is she's going to talk to us today from the Schubert Theater.
Yeah.
And because she's currently in the Broadway revival cast of Hello, Dolly. And she is also in Arbonne. And her story is going to be really interesting because, unlike some of the other interviews I did who've been in their companies for years and years and years already, Kristen Beth, she's on the newer side of things. And I thought that it would be really exciting and awesome to hear her story. So, hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here. So,
Thank you.
I know it's just lucky for me that you've got time. You're a new mom, and you're working the show, and so much going on. But first, before we get into more nuts and bolts about maybe like your particular company, tell the audience a little bit about yourself. Who are you? You know, I said what you're doing, but, talk a little bit about that. Talk about your family, your husband. Just introduce us.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kristen Beth Williams in the acting profession, and Ludwig is my married name, my legal name. So Kristen Beth Ludwig, and I'm married. My husband is also an actor and a filmmaker. And we have a little boy, Jake, who is going to be a year old at the end of August, which is crazy. And yeah, so my first love, like yours, David, has always been theater. That's what I've always wanted to do. I've never wanted to do anything else. I've never seen myself doing anything else. And then I had a baby, and we bought a home, and I getting pregnant as an actor is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. There are so many women who are doing it now, who do what I do, who are in the ensemble and cover principals and aren't, stars. Their stars do it all the time, and they're like, I'm going to take, time off and go be a mom. And you're like, great, awesome. And then people just ask them to come back whenever. But for those of us who are mostly in the ensemble, I, for a long time, didn't ever think it was going to be the right time for me. And then actually Kelly O'Hara, who we both worked with, said, don't ever let this business dictate your life. It will always be here. And so you should just do what you want to do. If you want to get married, if you want to have a family, do it. The business
That's
will
great.
always be here. Yeah. But what I knew that getting pregnant was going to mean that I was going to have to take some time off, and that it was probably going to be put on me more than I wanted it to be. I love to work. I love to be busy. And I didn't really start showing as a pregnant woman until I was 6.5, almost 7 months pregnant. So
Wow.
I wanted to keep working and nobody would hire me. So I slowly went a little bit out of my mind. I was, everybody's going, oh, just relax and enjoy the time. And I was like, I don't need to relax. I need to figure out who's going to pay the mortgage, how we're going to put food on the table, where's my next job coming from? Because I could see the finish line and I could also see all of these expenses that were going to come piling up at us. And we didn't have any job prospects coming up. Jimmy had a holiday show that he was booked to do, but I was looking at a baby being born sometime in September. He came 3.5 weeks early, and nothing, no job opportunities, nothing. And still, I was like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to find a job. It's going to be fine. I got Hello Dolly when Jake was 3 months old, and I was like, great, problem solved. And then we discover how much childcare costs in New York City, and you just, I was looking at how are we going to afford to live our lives. And as fortune would have it, Jimmy's friend Christina Rauner, who's also an actress, came over to meet the baby in like September, October, when Jake was very young, and she brought a gift for the baby and a gift for me. She brought the Arbonne baby set, and then she brought me just the Calm set from our skincare line that was face wash and moisturizer and a lovely face oil, and it was like, here's something for you and here's something for the baby. But I had no idea at that time that she even sold Arbonne, so it wasn't until later that she came after me and was like, I think you should do this. So that's a lot. That was a lot of information. Sorry.
No, that's great, because it was going to be my next question is, how did this come to be? So that explains that. So
Yeah.
how many months was it between that lovely gift, that very thoughtful gift that she gave you, and the conversation about the opportunity?
She started talking to me about it in January. And so that was, about 3 months. Between the gift and talking to me about it. And I said, Christina, I've had several people in the last few years ask me to join their team, whether it's for Rodan and Fields or Stella and Dot or and. And my answer has always been the same. My answer has always been no. I don't have time.
Tell me about that. Yeah, tell me why.
I just, honestly, I thought it was beneath me.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And I think I have so many friends who do it. I have so many friends who sell Stella and Dot and Rodan and Fields. Otherwise, why would they come to me and ask me? I've got friends who do this, but I was still going, no, I'm a professional actress and that's what I do. And I teach sometimes. Can you still hear me with the music?
I can hear
we
you
started.
Fine. I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
We started the entr'acte. We're doing a put-in for Bette Midler and David Hyde Pierce today.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what's happening upstairs. Yeah. And so I was like, but you know what? Let me give me the full pitch is what I said to her in January. I was like, give me the full pitch. And I said, because I might be interested now. I might be interested.
And
she was like, okay.
Was that because of the other circumstances that had changed in your life?
Yeah, it was because, we were trying to figure out how to afford our lives and to still have money to do things other than the bare necessities. We were putting food on the table and paying the mortgage, but other than that, we didn't have money to go out to dinner. We didn't have money to, do much of anything else. And that just shows you what the cost of living is where we are versus what we make, even on even at the top of, I'm at the top of my field as an actor.
Right.
I'm in a Broadway show. That's all I've ever wanted to do. So I went, okay, give me the full pitch. And it took me until the end of May to say, okay, I'm going to do it. But she gave me time and she didn't push. And that was really helpful for me. Because I needed to come to it on my own terms and to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And so now I've just jumped in with both feet. And when I talked to my mom about it, she was my first client, thank God. She's love your parents when they're like, yes, I will help you. What do you need me to do? And I was like, I'm gonna talk to you about some products. And she said, well, you remember when I used to do Happy Things. I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for most of my childhood, but she had this business that was called Happy Things. And it was when the country chic thing was really in like the mid 80s, early 90s. And it was all artisan handcrafted things from like Colorado. And it was pottery, it was dishes, it was I had like 4 stained glass angel night lights that were part of her thing that she sold, and she would go and do Happy Things parties.
Wow,
And I
I've
was
never
like,
heard of that one.
I'd forgotten about Happy Things. She was like, oh yeah. And I still have some of my things. I was like, yeah, you still do. You've got the bread warmer with the thing, and you've got the such and such. Like, I know exactly what she has that are still from her Happy Things business. I had just forgotten that she did it. And I was like, okay, it's good. We're gonna do this. And then we got our closing notice at Hello Dolly. We're closing in 6 weeks. And I went, now is the time. The time is now. Take a little more control of your own life, basically. You know, we never know when our next job is going to come in the acting world. And I realized while I was pregnant that I don't do well anymore sitting on my hands, letting somebody else have control of my life.
Oh, wow. Well, I totally relate to your story. As you heard in my intro, and as I think you knew too, I've been part of this industry for a long time. And so many of my reasons were similar to yours, in that reaching the top level of our chosen industry is extremely gratifying. And it's a dream come true. But yet we do live in an expensive part of the country. So it's like, okay, how can you add to that so that it's not getting in the way of your first love, but also adding to the quality of life that you're able to experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. I applaud you for, taking your time, really sitting with it, and thinking it through and making it, the decision for yourself. That's awesome. So did you use more products in that window of time?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
I tried a different line of products, and I'm actually now using another line of products.
Mm-hmm.
Because Christina had helped me. She'd given me several other things to try. And I went, okay, I like these a lot, but I still don't think it's quite the right fit for my skin. So when I jumped in, my first order was one of our brand new skincare lines. And I'm loving it. So
Great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, that is so much of it too. Is like you want to partner with a good company, which you've done. You want to partner with a company that has products which you like and enjoy, which you've done. All of those things are really important. And and who doesn't have skin, right?
Everybody has skin. It's a consumable product. And that was one of the things that I love most about it, is that, everybody washes their face, or they should. Everybody brushes their teeth. Everybody puts on deodorant. And we've got a whole nutrition line, which is huge right now. Everyone's looking for their pre-workout drink, their post-workout drink, their protein powder, their vitamins, their, things for healthy living. And Arbonne really takes a whole approach, a whole body approach. Healthy living is from the inside out.
That's great. That's great. So about your opportunity that now is before you, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about a lot of things. I'm really still very nervous about a lot of it as well. Putting yourself out there in this way is really hard. It's because you have to be yourself, and you're also saying you have to stop thinking about it. And I'm working on changing my mindset about it. You have to stop thinking about it as I'm asking my friends and family to buy things from me, and instead thinking about it as I'm offering them an opportunity to try or use really pristine, top of the line products that could change their skin, change their life. You're offering people an opportunity to help themselves, whether they're joining the business or just using the products. And so that's difficult to change your mindset about it, to go from, I'm going to sell some products to, and I'm going to ask you, like, oh, will you come to my store and buy things from me? And instead go, no, I have these really amazing products that I love, and I think you should try them.
Yeah, that's really well said, and I do think it is a shift of the mindset, and mindset is so much of what we do. But to sort of branch off of something that you said, because I think it's really true, is that a lot of people don't realize that products that they buy from stores, a lot of the money that is used to create those products is actually not going into the quality of those products. It's going into the advertising for those products, and it's going into the shipping of those products and the billboards and the TV commercials and all that stuff. So it's taking away from the quality of what they're getting on the shelves.
Yeah.
So you're right. You're offering people something most likely of a very much higher quality than what they can get at the store. And so I think it's great that you're already working on that mindset, because somebody once said to me was, if you don't tell people what you're doing and offer them the benefits that are unique from the products that you offer, you're kind of denying them that potential experience.
Yeah.
And that was something that helped me make that mind shift as well. So you're on the right track. That's awesome.
Thanks.
So I have no doubt that your theater work is going to, continue as long as you want it to. But your new experience with Arbonne can help bridge some of those gaps, and it can help pad out, right, some of what you're doing. So that's probably also, you're looking forward to some of that, I'm sure, as well.
I am.
Right?
I'm looking forward to just having a little more say in what happens to our finances in between theater jobs, and to be able to have a little breathing room in there and not feel so panicked about how the bills are going to get paid. I'm really looking forward to having more freedom of just of my and peace of mind. Freedom that way, and peace of mind that way.
That's great. Yeah. Well, our most valuable commodity is time, right? And so if you can work at this in whatever nooks and crannies of your life you're able to find, because I know you're burning the candle at both ends.
All ends. I've got like all the candles burning, and they're all burning at both ends.
Yeah. So if you can do it, if you can find the little nooks and crannies of that busy schedule to put in effort to this, I have no doubt it's going to pay off for you, and it's going to give you that peace of mind and that time freedom and freedom of choice that will be well worth the effort. So okay. Also, I've got some more questions for you. So
go.
You're so new at this, right? You really just became what do you call yourselves in Arbonne, as a distributor?
Independent consultants.
Independent consultant. Okay, every company's different. I don't want to use the wrong term. So you became an independent consultant in May, is that right?
At the end of May, yeah.
Okay, great. So you're still fairly new at this. So you're probably still going through some training. For sure, you know what? I could tell you now, the learning never stops, which is awesome. So much of what we do in this industry is about personal development. So it's, in addition to learning new skills, it's also growing as a person and the mindset piece and all that stuff. But how are you, what's your take on how you do the business at this point? I know that's a big question probably for a brand new person, but what's your take on how you do the business?
That is something I'm still really figuring out. And I think it will become clearer hopefully soon. Right now I'm still very much in the launch phase.
Yeah.
I've done one in-person launch of just, hi, this is me. We did one here at the theater, which was great. Had a couple of the ladies come and support, which was so sweet of them. And then I just did one on Zoom, did a virtual launch.
Awesome.
And my 3 best girlfriends, one of whom lives in Chicago now, Zoomed in. Jimmy zoomed in from Rochester to support and to hear, the whole Discover Arbonne presentation, because he was sort of on the fence about it. Even though he's been a brand ambassador for Johnny Walker for many years, that was a brand that he knew and a brand that does advertise. And so he was very on the fence about this whole thing.
Interesting.
So, but other than that, I'm doing a 30 people in 30 days reach out challenge for myself right now. And I've actually had to pause that. I was doing some yesterday, and then I was trying to schedule follow-up conversations with people and just realized that I don't have time. I don't have time this week or next week to do follow-up conversations. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna hit pause on that for a second and go back to some Facebook reach out, just going through my entire list of friends on Facebook and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. I've started a new business, and I would really love for you to check it out. Starting there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think it's once we settle down a little bit here at the show, right now we're putting our stars back in, who've been gone for 6 months. So once we settle down a bit here, I'll have a little bit more time to start taking people out for coffee and doing one-on-ones with them, which is great. And that'll give me more experience of figuring out how I do my own personal Discover Arbonne presentation, which I haven't done yet. And I'm looking forward to doing that. But I'm also really nervous about doing that.
Right. Oh, you're going to be a natural. I just know it. But so if people, who are watching this are listening to what you're saying, what I'm taking away from what you're sharing with us right now is that you're just going to get the word out, and you're going to have conversations with people. And that, I think that right there is the secret sauce is, we just, we use the relationships we have when we're getting started, and we just say, hey, I just made a decision to do this. I'd love to tell you about it. And as I like to say, bring people to the middle, which is basically just giving them information and letting them, do with it what they will, basically, which is kind of what happened to you, right?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's, we go, part of the Arbonne philosophy is stop, start, teach, or share. So you stop using the products that you're using. You stop buying them from, mass merchandisers. You start using the Arbonne products, and then you share it. You become a product of the product. And if you're, living with all of these products and you're living proof of what they can do, then the products sort of don't sell themselves, obviously, but they do a little bit. When, if people take a look at my skin and go, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Are you using something new? I can go, yes, I'm using these things and I love them, because that's really what I'm discovering network marketing is. I sit in a dressing room full of women, and several of them are planning weddings right now, and they know that I've been married and I planned my wedding here in the city. And so a lot of times they'll go, Kristen, what did you do for your DJ? And I'll go, let me email you my DJ who I got from a friend of mine. And that's network marketing. That's it. It's everything is word of mouth. If somebody goes, I love this product, half the girls in the dressing room are going to go, well, I'm going to go get it. So it's just that. And it's introducing people to this amazing brand that no one's ever heard of,
Right. Well, all right. I won't keep you much longer, but sort of on the same line of what you just were talking about, just to play off that a little bit more, what do you wish people knew about the industry and, that Arbonne is part of? Or what do you, kind of like what you just said, is that they don't realize they're already participating in network marketing whenever they recommend a product or a service or that kind of thing. But what is there anything else that you wish people knew?
That's really it. That's really the big one, is that we all do this all the time. And it's just, you and I are just taking it one step farther and saying, you know what, I can use this and make it another source of income for myself. And why doesn't everybody do this? If we're already doing it, then it should be a no-brainer. And once you finally realize that, I think that's what changed for me, is that I finally realized that. And I went, oh, so this is legit. This is a legitimate business opportunity. And there's no shame in creating another source of income for yourself.
Right. I recently saw a fact that millionaires have on average 7 streams of income.
Why not? Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the celebrities that everyone follows, you know, how many things do they've probably got a clothing line, they have a fragrance line, they've got, you know, the movie that they're repping, they probably also are a spokesperson for, you know, somebody else's skincare line, you know, that's streams of income for them. And it's all different things. You know, maybe they've written a book. Like it's all, everyone is, if you're not creating more streams of income for yourself, then you're missing out, I think.
Yeah, yeah, well, obviously I agree.
Obviously you agree.
All right, well, I won't keep you much longer, but I just, you know, one thing that keeps going through my mind as we're talking is, you know, people tend to get involved with a company because of the person who's representing it. You know what I mean? Like there are really great products that you're representing, but you're also a really great person. So I think that's you know, you're going to do really well. I have no doubt, because we all love you and everyone who knows you loves you. So any final words before we wrap this up and say bye?
No, I just want to say thank you, David. Thank you so much for reaching out and asking me to do this. I'm so thrilled. And it, you know, knowing people like you who've been doing this for, what did you say, 10? You've been doing it for over 10 years.
Yeah, it's been 13 years now.
See, you know, knowing people like you who are, you're so dedicated, you're so driven, you've got a beautiful family, and knowing people like you who are doing this and have been doing it for a while makes me go, this is possible.
Awesome. Well, I feel great knowing you're in it too. So, all right. With that said, I love the music in the background, by the way.
Just awesome. Bette Midler's making her entrance upstairs.
Yes. All right. Well, Kristen, Beth, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your rehearsal. I'm wishing you nothing but the most massive, awesome, exciting success with your business, and much love to you and your beautiful family. And I've no doubt that your theater career is still blooming and blossoming at the same time. So nothing but good things for you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.